If you live in the UK, I do not know how you're supposed to survive right now.
Cost of living over in the UK now is fucking scandalous.
I've got the receipt from my Aldi shopping basket from 3 years ago, so let's check what the exact same basket costs today.
Can anyone actually afford to live in the UK anymore?
I cannot afford, as a nearly 30-year-old, to rent something other than a fucking roof.
We want some lamb mincemeat kebab and it's £7.50. Look at the pack. The size of my hand. Getting absolutely ripped off in this country.
£7.50.
And I've had enough.
Welcome back to Unfiltered Brits. The cost of living in the UK just keeps climbing, and for many it's reaching absurd levels. Supermarket shelves are packed with basics we used to take for granted, now carrying price tags that make you double check if you're in the right bloody aisle. Everyday essentials are now turning into luxury items. If you're done with the UK, hit like, subscribe, and let's get this message out there, loud enough that they have to start listening. Let me know in the comments. Are you ready to stand and fight? Now let's get into what the people of the UK are really saying.
Why has the grocery bill here in the UK skyrocketed just lately? Is it due to the grocery tax on some products, which are items? I'll give you an example here, right? Now this one, £1.75. And the date on here is the 25th of the 5th, 25. Right, so that is the 25th of May. Now then, this one, £1.99. And the date on this one is 22nd of the 6th, 25. So virtually between these two packets, there's a month, right? But the increase is over 13.5%. That's just on one item, an increase of 13.5% or over 13.5%. And the pensioners, they got 4.1%. So there's something not quite right.
Tesco's becoming problematic. With club card 99 pence. Without club card, £1.70. It all adds up. It's just pointless and chaotic. These are fine, normal prices, okay? They've got their Aldi match. Fine. Tesco's finest. I don't mind straight prices, you know what you're paying for. But when they start doing these club card nonsense, it's starting to annoy me. If you have club card, £2. If you don't, you pay £2.35. No.
This person commented, people so concerned about them getting their data but still using different social media apps. Let me know what you think. Is it right that these supermarket giants are basically forcing us to sign up to their reward schemes in exchange for our data?
I've come back from Spain and let me tell you the difference of cost of living is shocking. I'll start with the rent. In the UK, the average monthly rent is pushing £1,276. In Spain, you can get a flat in a decent city like Valencia or Seville for £500 to £700 max, sometimes less. And gas and electric. In the UK, heating a small home in winter can set you back over £200 to £300 a month. In Spain, it's more like £60 to £100, and you barely need to use the heating most of the year. Groceries and eating out. UK, you grab lunch and coffee, you're down £15 easy. In Spain, tapas and a cold beer, £5 for real. A 3-course menu del dia with wine, 10 to 12 euros. In the UK, that wouldn't even cover a starter. And alcohol prices in the UK, you're paying £6-7 for a pint in London. Spain, a beer, €1.50. A bottle of wine in a shop, 2 to 4 euros, and it's decent. But it's not just Spain. The UK ranks as one of the most expensive places to live in Europe, behind only a few, like Switzerland. And the worst part, it's not because we're getting better services. It's not because our wages are through the roof. It's because so many prices are inflated for profit and regular people are paying the price, literally. We're being squeezed on housing, squeezed on bills, squeezed on the basics. Meanwhile, most of Europe is just living better, more chilled, more affordable. So yeah, maybe that sunny Spanish siesta life isn't just about the weather, It's about being able to live without being bloody skint.
So it turns out Tesco club card prices have harmed the economy, and this is a very weird, niche, but very impactful story about Tesco club card prices.
Please scan your club card.
This story came out 2 weeks ago and I missed it, and I saw somebody talking about it yesterday, but they didn't explain it. But basically, because Tesco has so many products listed as a club card price, when inflation in the UK is calculated, it's calculated at the listed price. And because Tesco, as we know, a lot of supermarkets do this, but Tesco is the worst offender, because they inflate their prices so much to make it look like you're saving money when you scan your club card. When the government calculates inflation, they do it as the listed price. So when Tesco put the price up, it makes it look like inflation in the country is much higher. And because Tesco has such a high market share in supermarkets in the UK, it has such dominance and so many of its prices, this has actually impacted inflation figures to a very large proportion. And the reason why this is so impactful is because the Bank of England will move its interest rate up and down based off of things like inflation. And if inflation is overinflated, it will affect the decisions of the Bank of England. It affects the decisions of how people get paid. It affects the decisions of so many different things, from governments to people getting paid to financial decisions to investments. So Tesco, accidentally, not their fault, but also kind of responsible for doing this constant club card pricing thing, has actually negatively impacted the economy in lots of weird ways that are really kind of hard to wrap your head around. It's such a weird but interesting story.
Take a look at this comment. I am 100% convinced that Tesco Club price is in some way a violation in consumer rights in some way. Interesting? Not sure if it is or not. Let me know your thoughts on this.
I'm sorry, but what the hell is going on with inflation? I just went to Co-op to buy some fruit because I'm really craving fruit. I'm going to show you what I bought and guess how much it all came to. So I bought some raspberries and it was 2 for a certain price. So I bought 2 packs. And then I bought some oranges, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 oranges in this pack. I bought some pineapple chunks because it's only a small Co-op, they didn't have many options. I bought some green grapes. Green grapes are superior. This all came to £18. £18. It's absolutely ridiculous. I know there's a flipping cost of living, but if I was to go to McDonald's down the road, I would be able to buy a whole meal for like £8, including a drink, and I can't buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of fruit, 5 boxes of fruit.
I've recently been going through the bank statements between me and my partner to figure out where our income is going, because I think it's important to understand your numbers inside of your house. And I've come to the conclusion that majority of our finances right now, especially, is going in food. And I'm not talking about Deliveroo and Uber Eats and going out on date nights. I'm talking about just the basic necessities of food. And as these things normally do, it led me down a little rabbit hole, which led me to look into the profit margins and the profits of a lot of the supermarkets that majority of people in the UK use, like Tesco, who have seen an adjusted operating profit of £3.128 billion. It says here in millions, but £3.128 billion, an increase of 10.9% at constant rate on the previous year. 10% in a year. Then I thought I'd have a quick look at Sainsbury's, who've had a 7.2% increase to £1.036 billion, which is 1,038 million, right? Increase on profits from this year compared to the year before. Over 7% increase and over 10% increase on profits within a year is actually insane. Like, that's crazy. And in a lot of instances, we're the ones that's footing that bill. Because the prices in these supermarkets have become ultimately obscene. And unless you have a loyalty card, there's no point shopping there at all, especially if you want to buy healthy things like vegetables and fruit, which you're going to have to buy multiple times in a week because they don't really last 3 or 4 days. We have to then also consider the fact that shoplifting has become incredibly prevalent in a lot of these supermarkets because people just can't afford to eat. And also, on top of that, which I find completely mind-boggling, is the fact that majority of their staff has been cut and been replaced with self-service machines, which means that they're creating less jobs, charging people more for their food, and also turning their supermarkets into Fort Knox to stop shoplifters. And then on top of that, have the audacity to charge me 30 to 50p for a bag to carry my shopping home. When I watch content like Gary's economics post, which I absolutely love, he constantly talks about not taxing working class people. And we always look at the government when it comes to that. But in reality, the people who are taxing us the most is corporate. It's the corporate world. Those who we buy resources from, those who we buy consumer goods from. And in reality, we have all of the power, really. Which is why I honestly think at some point, and I think that point is right now, we need to move away from just solely shopping in convenience, like buy everything from just one shop. We need to really be moving from shop to shop to find the best possible price that you can get, and also spending our money with independent and small businesses like in markets and farmers markets. We've made the change quite recently to buy locally sourced food in farmers markets and local markets, and honestly, the quality is so much better and the price is actually a little bit cheaper.
Okay guys, I hate complaining. I love living in London, like it's beautiful, but like honestly, why is it costing me £6.90 now to brush my teeth? And that's not only it, £7.15 for toothpaste, for
I think I'm hallucinating right now because this can't be real. What I'm seeing can't be real. There is no way.
See, this is why I can't live in this country. £4 for this. So I don't know if it's just me, but I personally feel like that's a fucking piss take, to be honest. Look. How many chips are in there? I could count them chips. £4 for that. That must have cost about 40 pence to make. And the thing is, I was so close to saying something as well to the girl when she put it down on the counter, but I felt bad because she was like, she looked like she just started a job or something. But I really wanted to say, is that it? But I didn't. I held my tongue. I thought, Chantel, just leave it. Just leave it. Just put your salt and vinegar on and leave the shop, because this is just what life is now. You're just gonna have to deal with it, love.
What the hell is going on? Fish and chips is meant to be the cheap takeaway. You've now got to remortgage your house to get a Chinese or an Indian. It's a joke that's just not even funny. It's absolutely shocking. 16 quid for fish and chips. 16 quid for fish and chips, and that was meant to be the cheap one. It cost you about 50 quid to get a Chinese. That's an actual joke. That's an actual joke. 15 quid for fish and chips. Costs about 50 quid to get a Chinese of your standard stuff. We're not talking about any specials here, anything extra, anything extravagant. We're not going for a buffet. We're talking about a normal Chinese. Like, we are literally paying American prices, but we get terrible wages. We don't have the American money, but we're paying the exact same price as they pay in America. This is a joke. This is a serious problem. This is another reason we're leaving this country. We want some lamb mince to make a kebab and it's £7.50. Look at the pack. The size of my hand. Getting absolutely ripped off in this country.
£7.50.
And I've had enough. City.
I've got the receipt from my Aldi shopping basket from 3 years ago, so let's check what the exact same basket costs today. So these Aldi Vag Fresh mints were £1.29 3 years ago. The exact same bag of these super tangy mints cost me £2.72 yesterday. That's a 44% increase. A 6-pack multi-pack of these cock bacon crisps cost me 99p 3 years ago. The same bag of cock bacon yesterday was £1.79. That's a 66% increase. 3 years ago I could get 6 big vaginas for £2.99. But today, just 3 years later, those same 6 big vaginas set me back £4.49. 3 years ago today, this bag of Din Din Fuck Chow cost £1.29. Yesterday, the same Din Din Fuck Chow cost £2.99, an incredible 200% increase. And I got a 500-gram bag of poo for 99p just 3 years ago. That same bag of poo is £1.99 today. No wonder my universal credit's gone the same day I'll get it.
People are shocked after finding out that more than 2 million adults in the UK cannot afford to eat due to the cost of living crisis. Check this out. A recent study commissioned by the Mental Health Foundation found that more than 52% of people in the UK were worried about being able to afford food from the supermarket. This also comes at a time where a couple in Devon were reported to not eat for up to 3 days at a time to ensure that their kids can actually eat. I just don't understand how people are living like this in 2025. The UK government definitely have a lot to answer for, because the Mental Health Foundation even conducted a study. The same study found that 65% of people in the UK were anxious or stressed about being able to pay for just general household bills. It's also estimated that 1 in 7 adults in the UK, meaning 7.3 million people in the UK, are actually food insecure, meaning that they have anxiety or stress about being able to pay for food. This is definitely not right. I feel like every time you go into your local Asda, Sainsbury's, Morrison's or Tesco, it's getting so expensive just for the basic necessities, and I don't know how people are living.
Cost of living is hitting Asda hard. Look at this. Chicken thighs, $5.69. $5.69. Asda's own chicken fillets, $6.19. $14.95 for a bit of beef. $14.95. And these, look at this salmon, $11.40 for Asda own. Butter, £8, $7.30. It's insane. These chocolate bars were £1 last year, $2.87 today, Sunday. And coffee. Talk about blow your mind. Literally £6, £7, £8 for coffee, instant coffee. It's crazy. And if you want some frozen fries, cheap as hell, £3, $3.30.
If you live in the UK, I do not know how you are supposed to survive right now. I really don't. So I've just gone to Sainsbury's, right? And I know people are like, oh, you can go to Aldi. Right, I've been in Aldi, and either the food goes off quicker, not all of it, but some of it, or it's the same price, because Sainsbury's are price matching Aldi at the moment. It's my place to go. I know where everything is. You know, it's not bargain basement, but I don't think anything is bargain basement now. And I refuse to eat shit. Like, I just refuse to, like, fill my freezer with shit that is bad for my kids. So don't even get started in the comments on that. That's not the point. The point of this is, I've just gone and done a shop for me and my daughter for 3 days. That's it, just to last us till the end of the bank holiday weekend. And all I have bought is dinners, breakfast cereal and soup for lunch. So I haven't pushed the boat out. There's no snacks in there. All right, I needed some toothpaste and deodorant, right? But that's normal. That's what you need to live. You need to be able to brush your teeth and you don't want to smell. Even with the discounts, Nectar discounts, all the rest of it, 3 days is 57 quid. And for somebody that wants to justify that, just don't even bother. Because not that long ago, there were 3 of us. And I used to shop for 3 of us. And I used to buy branded shit because he wouldn't eat the non-branded shit. And I would do a full week's shopping. I was on a protein diet, so I was buying lots of protein, tins of tuna, chicken, eggs, you name it, it went in the basket. And that would cost me 130 quid to feed 3 people for a week. And less than 3 years later, I can't even get through the absolute basics. People always ring at the most inappropriate time. I'm having a rant here. And that was nearly £60.
I'm so fucking tired of the UK. It's gotten to the point where I'm looking at moving out. Because I think it's going to take fucking years for the UK to start doing better again. Because it's that fucked. The thing is, moving is not fucking easy. Thanks, Brexit. I need a visa, I need a job, I need to save a shit ton of money, and probably learn a new language. And unless you're wealthy, your quality of life is fucking shit. I cannot afford, as a nearly 30-year-old, to rent something other than a fucking room. I work full time, so I should at least be able to afford a 1-bed apartment. It's not that fucking much to ask for, it's a 1-bed apartment. I think as a country, we're so desensitised to everything that we just take the bare fucking minimum. I don't claim to be in poverty, and my life isn't terrible. There are so many people out there who can't even afford to put food on the fucking table. And it's not like it's an uncommon thing. This is quite common now. Just like, what the fuck?
Cost of living in the UK now is fucking scandalous, isn't it, really? If you look at the end of the month what people pay out on, so it'd be either rent or mortgage, then it's gas, electric, water, whatever bills they've got. Then they got to get their fucking food in. Some people run a car and maybe have to pay finance, pay petrol, MOT, insurance, all that shit. Then some people have got Sky and some haven't. Some have got Netflix, all these different apps they pay for. Some people want to go to the gym, so that's another fucking thing. By the end of the month, and that's without toiletries, clothes and everything else, by the end of the month, most people's money's gone. They've got fuck all left.
Right, I need everyone to know that I'm not an economist. I'm not a mathematician. I don't understand much about life. But I've just seen a video saying that we're going to start being charged tax if you have over £3,000 in savings. I don't really get it because, like, in the UK, you actually need like £1 million to put a deposit on a house. So, like, how are we meant to save their money, son? Like, how are we meant to save that money if we're then being taxed on that money that's already taxed? And, you know, they wonder why people be turning to crime. And I'm just thinking, like, you know, where my life gonna go now?
Can anyone actually afford to live in the UK anymore? So today we're going to break it down. I've been going over some statistics from the ONS and from .gov.uk. This means they know. They have these statistics, they have this data, and everything I'm going to tell you today is based on UK averages. Just pay attention, because I really think some people in this country have not got a clue how bad some people have it. The cost of living in the UK has spiraled out of control, and we're going to break down and see if people can actually survive on the wages they're paid. So how much does the average person earn? Well, the UK's average national salary is £37,000, 430 a year. After tax and national insurance, that gives you about £2,400 a month to live on. Sounds all right, yeah? Well, let's see where that money actually goes. By ONS and .gov UK statistics, monthly bills for an average household rent or mortgage are £1,341 for renters outside London, way more expensive inside London, and a mortgage at £1,056 for a typical home loan. Council tax, £180, going up. Electricity and gas, £117, going up. Water bills, £44, going up. Groceries, £310, and that's before you even add a bottle of wine. Fuel, £79, probably going up. Clothing, soap, toothpaste, etc., etc., £77. So what's left? If you rent, you are left with £252 a month at the end of the month. If you own a home, you have £537 left. And that's all before you even think about insurance, phone bills, internet, childcare, savings, emergencies, or any modicum of a social life.
Again, fantastically well done, Labour government. You have sent inflation higher than expected this month. Inflation's come out at 3.5% versus expected 3.3%. Why and how are they managing to ruin us so badly? If you see here, it's down to significant increases in household bills caused by gas and electricity rising, and this was mainly due to the rise in the Ofgem price cap. Cheers, government regulators. Water and sewage bills rose strongly, thanks Thames Water and all you shit utility companies that should really be nationalised, as did vehicle excise duty, and thank you, government. Interestingly, motor fuels fell in price, but gas and electricity rose. That means that the market isn't actually at fault here, and it is purely Ofgem. Why do I say that? Well, the price of wholesale energy has actually fallen on the market. So Ofgem's price cap, it's really funny that, has actually caused the rise in our bills. This is mainly due to recovered debts from the pandemic. Still, it's absolutely insane. The biggest problem here, though, is that the Bank of England has started cutting. When the Bank of England wants to cut, it means that they are trying to sort of induce inflation. My biggest problem here is that they're probably going to enter into a stagflationary environment, which means growth is collapsing while inflation is increasing. What's really embarrassing for Reeves, though, is that she said yesterday, since taking office, we've seen 4 interest rate cuts and delivered pay rises for over 3 million workers by increasing the national minimum living wage. Now, she's having to say this. I know the cost of living is still weighing down on working people. That's why we've increased the minimum wage, frozen fuel duty, and begun rolling out free breakfast clubs in schools. Jesus Christ. The biggest problem with this minimum wage increase is that it's created a problem with risk-taking in the labour market. Why would anyone bother going to get a starter salary at, say, 30k when they can possibly get a job stacking shelves in Tesco's for like 26k with far less responsibility?
So council tax, as we all know, has gone through the roof. Household bills, your gas, your electric, your water rates, it's just fucking ridiculous. Food prices are astronomical as well. But one of the big reasons the council have said that council tax has gone up by so much is because of adult social care. Because people are living longer. Fair enough. Need more money for that. So if that's the case, riddle me this. Why is my dad having to sell his fucking house to pay for his care and needs in a care home at £1,250 a week? Why is he having to do that if this adult social care has gone up because people are living longer and obviously going into care homes and need looking after? I'd like to know where this money's gone, because I don't believe it's going on adult social care. I think the council is sticking it somewhere fucking else. Just don't trust them at all.
Yeah, people, I don't know if TikTok would allow this up, but the UK spent approximately 2.8 billion in donor refugee costs, refugee hosts within the UK in 2024, which is 20% of the total UK aid budget. This figure is down from 4.2 billion in 2023. People, come on, but then the government won't do nothing to help its own people out. Come on, people, we got to rise up, stand up. We've got this, yeah? The thing is, you see with this government, right, they're trying to replace us. We've just got to fight back, that's all.
And there you have it. Apparently, the weekly shop is now a luxury experience. Maybe next time I'll bring a loan advisor to Aldi. If you've made it this far, you might as well just like the video, subscribe to my channel, and drop your thoughts in the comments. It's great to see so many patriotic, like-minded Brits comment on my videos. See you in the next one.